We will continue looking at solving quadratic equations by factoring. In these equations here, the roots of the quadratic equation represent two x values, so we should get two separate answers. And when we begin here now, the questions are not as straightforward as we had seen in the last couple examples, so usually it would take a little bit more work to get them set up properly. So we look at our first one. We need to carry out multiplication here. So the x needs to get multiplied through, and when we're finished that, we need to bring the 6 back over. So here we have the result of multiplying and then bringing the 6 back over. And now we factor by decomposition. Say 3 times negative 6. I'll do that over here. So that's negative 18. What are two factors of negative 18 to add to give us our middle number? So we had 9 and negative 2. We would add to give us 7. And multiply to give us negative 18. Okay, now we've brought everything back over. And we put brackets around our terms here. So around our two terms in the beginning, and at the end we put brackets around them. Don't forget the addition sign in the middle has to be there. And we factor out common terms. So in the 3x squared 9x, there's a common term of 3x, leaving behind x plus 3. And here there's a common term of negative 2. Your two outside terms go together, and in the brackets you should have both terms being the same. If they're not, then you've made a mistake. So your brackets should contain the same values. And use zero property and solve for both. And we find our two roots are 2/3 and negative 3. In this example here we have decimals. So what we can try to do is divide everything here by 3.2 or negative 3.2. And we would see that it does work and allows us to get rid of our decimal values. So we're left with x squared minus 2x equals 8. And we will solve this the same as the other questions now. So here we have to take the 8 and move it back over. And then two factors of 8 that multiply to give us negative 8, add to give us negative 2. So that will be 4 and positive 2. So we use our zero property. Make both set of brackets equal to 0. So x equals 4, x equals negative 2. In this example here, we have a third, or negative 1/3, so we'll bring everything over to one side. Don't forget the sign changes. Now we have this third. We'll multiply by the common denominator. So the denominator here is 3, and it's the only denominator. So what we will do is multiply every term here by 3. What I've done is multiplied every term by negative 3. Usually it works out more helpful if the a value here in front of x squared is positive. So multiply everything by negative 3, and you'll get x squared, negative 3x. Here you have subtract, and negative 3 times, so it will be negative 18, and then subtract negative 18, which will make it positive. And now we factor as normal. So two factors of positive 18 add to give us negative 3, negative 6 and positive 3. We apply the zero property, make both brackets equal to 0, and we solve, and now we have our two roots.